Morning, YouTube. We're working on the Jeep today. We're gonna get to those front fenders. Trying to get this wide body finished up so we can get this thing out of here. So, this is cool. I'll show you what I got. So, first thing we need to do, it's windy. I hope you guys can hear me. So, we need to flex this thing. Make sure that we had room on those. You can see about where we're at with this now. This is what we're after right here. How much clearance we're gonna need, how high we gotta cut that hood to keep from rubbing. So, well, shit. Since the last time, built a tailgate for it, went through, and the rest of it's just been gussets and welding and finishing up a bunch of stuff, throwing some skid plates on it, racing on some lettering, and started on the fronts. So, let's see, those are, they measure out at like 44 inches tall, so that's 44 inches off the ground right there. That's still sitting on the ground pretty solid. So, I'd imagine by the time we're done, we could probably get 48 inches under this tire. Something else we're gonna need to do, maybe we'll do that in this episode, is right here. These forward knuckles are prone to cracking once you go high steer. So, we'll gusset this all out. I'll show you how to do that so you can save your knuckles. But, this is where we're starting. We're back in the shop. Heater going because it is cold outside. Let's see. This is the mark that I put in here. The tire gets clear up in there. So we'll just get some tape, cover this, make that line a little more permanent, a little easier to see. We'll cut that and then we'll start working on design. So let me get you set up and we'll get after it. Okay, that's all cut, and I just started throwing shapes at it. Just something in here to see where we gotta be. I want to finish, well, I need to finish right about here. That's right about where that one finishes. I have no idea how I want to do this. I don't really like what we got going on here. It's too round. That one's pretty square. We're gonna square this one up. So I think I have a small curve cut in that one. I might leave that, but I think from that we might protrude up, do like a 22, another 22, that'll give us a nice 45-degree angle, and then come straight forward, just to kind of box that up a little bit. Because right now it's just too round. On the bottom, I knew I'd run into this, and so I've been thinking of ways. Well, this is actually flared out quite a bit. So I think what I'm going to do down here to kind of dress this up a little bit, so we'll come right here. We'll just do a box basically that will run from here out to the edge of that. Just a little step-ish looking thing. And I think that'll help dress that up a little bit, not quite so boxy. And then here, I was just gonna plate it in, just take care of that. But now, I'm kind of thinking we might take a piece and do like a diamond cut. We'll come from this point to this point, back up to this point. And we'll just let that not touch the hood, but get up close to it. Just to kind of break it up a little bit so that hood cut isn't so hoodie, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we could just cut it clear up here. You'll see a lot of Jeeps like that. They'll extend this up. They'll just run the hood shallow the entire way. And I mean, maybe that was the way to go. It's not the way we're going now, though. So, yeah, I think that little accent there, we'll take care of that. That little accent piece there, we'll take care of that. If we put a sharp angle there and forward, that should square it all up a little bit to help match that. And then I did this in the front, and I think I'm gonna keep that. I mean, there's just so many different things you could do, but I want something, just something to start. This is looking kind of Mad Max, so I'm gonna kind of keep that theme. I think what I'll do is I'll take like some 1-inch angle maybe, and we'll turn it on a 45. Actually, maybe, do I have that handy? Thought I had a piece. See, this is why this is always a mess, guys, because you never know when you just need, there it is right there, something quick. So anyway, I'm thinking we'll take this on the front, we'll turn it like that. Oh, get up here. And that'll give us a couple dimensions to that front. So it'll have that, it'll come flat, 45, then return it to 45. It'll give us a nice point here. We'll continue that over around this corner, coming back, and then here on this wrapping edge, I'll go back to flat like we have in the back. So we'll bring that angle out to here, and then I think we'll just go like 1 inch or so and follow that down and around, just to kind of close it in, give it a finished look. So, I'm gonna clean up the plasma table, throw a sheet down, start measuring out and getting rough cuts going, and we'll probably burn out a couple mounts, mount into the grill here, and I'll be back in just a second. All right, so the same basic shape as the cardboard. I just put it in steel and put 2 bends in it, and you can see what I mean with the angle iron now. Kind of started bringing that around. And then I tacked it up here, make sure it was gonna flow, and then just made a quick template of this. We were talking about that and that, and I think, can I get far enough back? I think that's gonna look good. We'll do just flat, like, I don't know, whatever that is, probably 1.25 inches or so. Just to, so we don't have a flat edge, just to box it in, to kind of match the back a little better. I think that's gonna be all right. I threw the front bumper on. I made this a while ago. I threw it up there just to kind of make sure everything jived, and I think it's gonna be good. So, I'm gonna call that a success. I'll burn out those couple little parts, and I'll get those welded on. I'll get this edge welded on, and then we'll move on to this side. There's our cardboard shape, just in steel. Throw a couple bends in that, and I'll get that side all finished up, and we will be done with the wide body on this thing. And then we will move on to steering arms. So I'll probably just finish out these fenders. There's not a whole lot to see. And then we'll jump on those knuckles. I can't remember if I showed you like the completed version. So I'll do a quick round. sat out for a day. Well, it sat out for half a day and got snowed on. That's what that's all about. It's also why this looks like shit, because every time I put this thing outside, it rains or snows. But now we're down to this. So if you're buying your arms, chances are pretty good they're going to be angle corrected from here to here. If they are, great. You throw in your 2 spacers, basically, and you're good to go. I burned these out on the plasma table, so they're not angle corrected. So I just oversize the hole, run that tube all the way through, we'll weld the top, weld the bottom, and that way that keeps that true all the way through. So what we're gonna do now is we'll pop this off, and I cut a piece of 3/16 flat bar, basically, a little hole in it. Actually, let's just do this. This guy right here. So what we'll do is we'll bend this to fit in there. This will go down inside of that. Once that's shaped and in, we'll drill a hole right here. Corresponding hole through the knuckle, about right there. And that way we have something to weld our gusseting to in here. So I'm gonna tear this apart, get this set, and then I'll show you. This is actually pretty quick and dirty, but for these Ford knuckles, this will save you. Bring you in a little better. I just kind of set this in there to hold that. You can see we offset that to the one side. It's just a 3/8 bolt. You don't got to get too crazy. Just watch that your first couple times, especially if you're doing bigger shafts and bigger, well, some chrome moly shafts will have a big shoulder here and they might touch that. So you might need to go to like a jam nut on this side, like an analog jam nut, or flip that around. Doesn't really matter. But leave it offset to the one side, so when you put this piece in, it leaves you enough room to get a wrench in there. So this guy will weld to that plate. It'll weld to your piece of tubing here. It'll weld to your top piece of tubing, and it'll weld to the bottom of this arm. And it'll weld to the bottom of that arm. And you don't have to get real crazy. Like, this is 3/16. I don't think I'd go any lighter than that. Like 3/16 quarter is gonna be fine. All this is really doing is taking the pressure off those 4 bolts or studs, whichever you're running. Like, you have all this leverage out here just on those 4. And that's what'll cause all sorts of issues. You'll break the studs, you'll break the bolts, screw up threads. This kind of just helps distribute it better. I mean, you're through bolted out here, you take a lot of the pressure. So, well, a lot of the pressure off. Finish your sentences. Good God almighty. Yeah, so I'll toss this arm back on. I'll make sure that that plate fits right. I'll get everything set back up, tack it all together, pull it off, burn it up, and that'll do it for the steering. So I'm gonna do that. I'll show you when we're all done what it looks like, and that'll be it. Okay, she's all welded out. It's hot, but that's what you're after. That's what you're doing. So, if you got Ford knuckles, this is something you probably want to do. If nothing else, do it until you can get around to buying like some crane knuckles or reed or whatever. Because if you're wheeling hard or you have a big destructive tire, this is definitely something you want to attend to. As far as the Jeep goes, that's it. I'm going to finish up that other knuckle, and then I got to do a couple other small things, but nothing worth doing a video for. So that'll be it for this one. Next time, I've been doing some things getting ready for this. So keep an eye open, and we'll be doing the cantilever setup on this for the next video. So keep your eyes open for that. Till next time, I'm Carl. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. If not, whatever. I don't really care. We'll see you next time. Peace.